Hello and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host Ilene, and on this week's program, our guests represent ArtSpeaks GNV, the nonprofit organization bringing poetry and people together. And we invite you to attend the 4th annual Bard and Broadside North Central Florida Poetry Festival. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, E. Stanley Richardson, founder and executive director of ArtSpeaks GNV, an inaugural poet laureate of Alachua County, and my friend of long-standing, and a gentleman, Stanley, that has so many different titles and public service that you are doing to our community. I can't get all of your titles in, but I praise you for all that you're doing to enrich all of us here.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for having me on your show. It's a pleasure. I have arrived now that I'm on the Ilene Silverman Show.
That's so nice of you. And truly, as I said, you're doing so much, and ArtSpeaks, really, I've known of it, but now I've had the opportunity to delve more into what is behind it and the upcoming poetry festival that we're going to be talking about and meeting during the show some of the poets. So kind of help us understand some of why and how all of this got started for you.
Well, ArtSpeaks was founded back in 2012. Kind of corresponds with my my embracing poetry, I guess, full time as an artist.
Right.
Before then, I think I was always a writer. I never really pursued it with such, I guess, enthusiasm and vigor.
Right.
And so once I went out into the community searching for other poets like myself, I realized that, like other parts of society, poets are cliquish. They operate in these little silos.
Right.
And so you have different
not
poets.
Getting all together.
Right, different poets meeting
yeah.
at different times. And I ended up really embraced by the folks at the Civic Media Center. And they have the longest running open mic, probably in maybe even America. I mean, it's been going on probably maybe
Awesome.
40 years, every Thursday night.
Yes.
The Poetry Jam. So I met those folks over there and some other poets in the area, and I noticed that everybody was doing their own thing, and I'm like, wouldn't it be a great idea to have everyone together under one roof for just a celebration of all these different iterations and forms of the art of poetry.
Right.
So I approached, at the time, Russell Etling was the cultural affairs manager.
Well. Right.
I approached Russell, told him about my idea of this thing called ArtSpeaks. Wanted to get people together, bringing poetry and people together, and he was a little leery about it. I said, I think it'd be cool. So he said, okay, let's do it. And we've been doing it ever since, in 2012. So,
right, several events per year under that umbrella.
Well, we started off just doing that one event, and ArtSpeaks, bringing poetry and people together.
Right.
Normally in the fall. It's normally it's late August, early September.
Right.
Whenever the students get back at University of Florida, and before football gets crazy.
Right.
So it's normally in the late August, early September, and then I'm like, oh man, we need to do the same thing for youth. So
I see you do.
So we started Courageous Young Voices, which is the same kind of event, but just for young people. And it's normally, we have one coming up, which is March 8th. And both events are co-sponsored by the City of Gainesville Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs Department.
Right.
So they're our community partners. And So
it's a great
it's always at the Thomas,
collaboration, and it's
at the Thomas
always at the
Center.
Thomas Center.
Yes.
And so free to attend.
It's
And-
free.
yeah.
Everything we do, we want to make it free and accessible to the
Exactly.
public. So all of our events, all the money we raise, goes back into programming to make sure that no
You
one.
can continue these programs
Yes.
and make sure that it's open to the community. Now we're going to run out of time, but still, you've got this book in your hand.
Oh, this is a book that I self-published. I wrote back in 2017. It's
Right.
called Hip Hop is Dead. Long Live Hip Hop: The Birth, Death,
love
and
this
Resurrection of Hip Hop Activism. And it's in a nutshell, it's just about poetry, music, how important music is to the social justice movement, especially
Right.
in the African American community.
Well done. And we're going to take a quick break, but we have so much more to discuss. Thank you, Stanley. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about Art Speaks with E. Stanley Richardson, and I'm pleased to introduce Cynthia Rose, poet, author, artist, editor, and a new friend, and a very talented woman.
Thank you.
You're doing many things in this community.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Ilene. It's a pleasure. It's an honor.
Well,
And I got to
thank
thank
you.
my friend
I know.
Stanley for inviting me too. Thanks, Stan.
Well, and you're part of the Poetry Festival we're just about to talk about. So Stanley, let us know what's coming up in April, the Bard and Broadside Poetry Festival.
Yes, Poetica America 250.
Perfect.
Fourth
Perfect.
annual Bard and Broadside North Central Florida Poetry Festival, celebrating 250 years of American independence through poetry.
It's outstanding. And by the way, you have red, white, and blue earrings on. I noticed that too.
Do you know what flag it is? It's the Puerto Rican flag.
Yes, I see.
I am Afro-Caribbean.
A wonderful nod to your heritage. Thank you.
Thank you.
And a wonderful umbrella theme for April when this will be held in different venues around our Alachua County. So tell us more about the, the festival.
It's a month-long festival.
Right.
Kicks off April 9th at the Harn Museum of Art at the University of Florida,
Right.
in the auditorium, with the community open mic. And it runs through April, culminating on the 26th with our featured guest poet, Sidney Wade.
Oh, right. Okay. You've got lots of different opportunities for all of us, free of charge to attend. But one, of
Cynthia is
course-
going to be one of our
Yes, so-
featured poets. She'll be reading at the
Tell
Lynx
us.
Books. And remind me what day that is again.
April 22nd, I believe.
You got it.
Okay,
April
thank
22nd.
you.
That's a Wednesday, I think.
It's a
Yes,
Wednesday,
Wednesday
yeah.
evening. I think it's at
So everybody who's
7.
at work can still come out because
Right.
it's in the evening, so that's going to be fun.
And explore, help us explore different about your writings and what they mean to you. You have some books here with
I
you.
have a couple of books with
Okay.
me, and I'll be reading from both books,
All right.
and also share, if time permits, some new poetry that I haven't published yet. But I've been writing since I was about 7, and my
Oh,
grandmother
so this
gifted
is-
me a little pocket diary, and I began, like a scribe,
journal.
recording everything, and the page was a safe place to express my emotions and without judgment. And so I would fill them up every couple of months, and they were meant to last a year.
Oh,
But I
my
didn't
gosh.
start writing poetry till my teens. My mother would give me her Harlequin romance novels and her magazines. I wasn't allowed to date, but I
You
read
could-
a
you
lot
could-
of romance novels. And so I started writing love poems, and I didn't have any clue what love was about. And you'll see, this book, the first book I ever published, Bloom Forever, I didn't publish till my mid-40s. I was painfully shy. You wouldn't know it now,
No,
but I was painfully
couldn't see
shy
it.
as a teen and young adult. And so I kept my poems hidden until I joined a writer's group. And then I felt comfortable around other writers, and we encouraged each other. This was the Tallahassee Authors Network before I moved to Gainesville, and I've been a member since 2009. It's still in existence. One of the founding members, Barbara Joe, published my first book for me, and she has since retired, so this is out of print, and only I have a few copies. It's under my previous married name, Cynthia Lamb. So after that, I decided I needed an artist name, and I named myself Cynthia Rose. So no matter what name I had, my books would be Cynthia Rose. And my current partner and forever partner in life, my fiance Stan Johnson, and I collaborated to publish Journey's Light, and it's a photography art book.
Yeah, Stan's an amazing photographer.
And he's an award-winning photographer. And some of these were taken in Italy. A lot of them were taken in Florida.
Beautiful.
These are lights. These are two people in love. This is near Lake Jackson. We have sunrises and sunsets in Panacea, all over Florida, really. Tallahassee.
They're gorgeous.
And we were inspired to create, thank you, we were inspired to create this during the pandemic when everything shut down. I could no longer do open mics, poetry readings. He could no longer schedule photography sessions. So we decided to put our talents together, and this is our baby, and
congratulations.
Self-published. Thank you.
And we're going to take another quick break, but we look forward to being a part of your special evening on April 22nd at the Links.
It's going to be fun.
I will be there.
Please do come.
And look forward to your reading. Thank you. And stay with us. We'll be right back.
Dan.
We're talking about Art Speaks with E. Stanley Richardson, and I'm pleased to introduce Eddie Suggs, author and performance poet. And thank you for joining us, Eddie.
Thank you for having me on, Reese.
Oh, certainly. It's a privilege. And you two have known each other for quite some time.
Yes.
How did you connect?
Well, we met through poetry, of course.
Oh, see,
At the
makes
Civic
perfect
Media
sense.
Center doing open mics. Yeah.
Well then, Eddie, share a little of your story with us.
Okay. Well, I'm a first generation off of sharecropping farms here in Florida. My parents grew up not too far from here, sharecropping for the holders on their property outside of Newberry. And so generational poverty was what we had to escape. Me and my brothers were, 100 years behind everybody else, but we seemed to do all right.
No, but you...
Education helped. It was
Education.
The key. It was the key.
That's the key.
They kept us in school wherever we were at.
Right.
On our tour of the shacks of Florida.
But you had to work hard to get that education.
Yes, we had to help each other get food on the table. There wasn't much of it, but we were glad to get it off the farm. A lot of it we were working at.
You use that term Phoenix for yourself, for your siblings, for your own kids.
Yes,
you rose.
We feel like we were like the rose out of the ashes basically of a agraria. I'm writing about that loss of agraria in my new book, Riding and All.
Yes, tell us about the book.
That book is 40 vignettes that tells the story of how I became the guy in this wheelchair.
Right.
Basically, and you don't know it. I'll give you a little hint. You're on the out-of-body experience with me in the book.
Oh.
Going back through my life.
Wow.
And all the trauma that was involved in becoming the person that I was. I was a damaged adult. And after I got ran over, I was basically sent back under an out-of-body experience because I had to learn more about love and how to give it and respond to it better, and that it had kept me in pain, getting off of the narrow path that love is. And love is important. It's the only possession we have. It's the only chance of lasting forever, I was told. Outlast the dust of the past that we walk. And it set me back on this path, the painful one, to learn that lesson. And in Riding and All, I talked a lot about it and how I became that person that can write now. I published a book.
I know.
2016, Stepping on Cracks. That's basically about the abuse in our society that creates the monsters that walk amongst us. It's a dark psychological thriller that's set at the University of Florida. But Riding and All is totally different. It's a colloquial journey back through the beauty of the life and how hard it was, but how beautiful it was, and the lessons, the tough lessons you learned from it that helped you become something that
Well,
you never thought you could be. And that's what Ryan and all does. The last chapter is actually set at the Heartwood Soundstage.
Right,
where
which
I'm
we've
having
talked about
an
how
epiphany.
much we appreciate Hartwood.
Me and Stanley have
Okay,
shared that
bring
stage
Stanley into
couple of
that,
times.
yeah.
Yes, we have. Thank you.
I set up a couple of shows there.
Tilting at Windmills.
Tilting at Windmills, where we brought in some of the poets here, Eric Diamond, Stanley Richardson, myself, Jimmy Jan Fishhawk, and what's her name? I always forget her name.
Jenna.
Nashida. I don't know why I do that. She's so special. But anyway, we bonded together and brought that show to the people twice because Dave Malash wanted us to do it
And
the
we
second
had
time
some
to film it
Irish
better.
whiskey.
Oh, wow. Now
she
you
had
really
brought back from
remember.
Ireland that we toasted at the end of the
she
show.
had just come back from
We've
Ireland.
done a
great.
show on Hartwood that
Yes.
it's
But
exceptional.
I'm having my epiphany on stage, basically, in the book of who I'm supposed to be. I'm finally who I'm supposed to be, and it just happened because I got ran over.
Which is just...
And all the trauma I had to go through, and the writing helped me adjust to the PTSD that I was experiencing. And now I get a chance to actually help people get up from all the rock bottoms that they're in.
Right. And you feel
be
maybe
a living
that's your
example.
purpose. That's
Yes,
why
that
you
is-
are here. That's what
Now it's
you're
my
meant
purpose
to do.
And-
to help
and
motivate
it-
people
and-
to do
and you-
better with their lives.
It is going to be one of the featured poets for the
Exactly.
Poetry
Tell
Festival
us
at the
about
Links
that.
at the Links Bookstore.
April 22nd,
April
that
22nd,
Wednesday.
as part of the Bard and Broadside North Central Florida Poetry Festival. It's our
Right.
4th annual festival, and it is going to be one of the featured poets that evening at the Links Books.
Same
A
night
number
as
of links,
Cynthia.
yeah.
Yes. And it's called
yes.
We the Poets, We the Poets, as in we the people, we the poets. So we're celebrating the 250th anniversary
It's
celebration
like the perfect
of the
theme.
of our country's independence.
Right.
So
Like
it's
our
gonna-
first show together at the Heart was 5 Poets Speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's full circle.
It is.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank
you,
you.
Stanley. We have one more segment, so don't go away. But we appreciate you, Eddie, very
Oh.
much.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're talking about ArtSpeaks with founder and executive director E. Stanley Richardson and the inaugural Poet Laureate of Alachua County. A wonderful distinction.
Thank you.
Oh, certainly, Stanley. You're doing such a wonderful job in that position, but help us all understand how it got started and what that means.
Well, Poet Laureate is an individual who's appointed by a government entity, a municipality, like the state of Florida has a Poet
Right.
Laureate. The United States has a Poet Laureate, and Alachua County has a Poet Laureate. And I was appointed Poet Laureate back in 2020 by the Alachua County Board of County Commissioners.
Right.
So it was a process where they had a call to artists. I think former Commissioner
Hutchinson. Yeah, he
Hutchinson was
sort of
very
instrumental
instrumental
in that.
and the advocacy for helping to establish a Poet Laureate for
Yes.
the Alachua County. So it is it was a call for artists. Call to artists. I applied. I almost didn't apply. Did an application. It went before the Arts Council. I'm not sure how many applicants there were. Quite a few applicants.
Quite a few, I think.
And we were all scored. You know, had to have your sample of your work, your CV, your resume, letters of recommendation. I mentioned that I asked Dr. Patricia Hillian to write a letter of recommendation for me.
Good friend.
And she agreed to do it, and it's a powerful letter. I mean, when I first read it, Carol and I both cried while we read it.
I understand.
Yes,
Just
so-
knowing that she thought that of you.
Exactly. So it
And
went
we've
before
lost
went before the Arts Council, and the top 3 applicants go before the Board of County Commissioners, and they select the Poet Laureate from the top 3 applicants. I was the highest score. Yay.
Well done.
And
yes.
so they took the recommendation of the Arts Council and they selected me back in 2020. And I was reappointed.
Congrats.
I've been reappointed 3 times since then. The last time, just recently in October of 2025 for another 3-year term. So I'll be your Poet Laureate until 2028, I think.
Well, it is a special benefit to have you attend so many different, ceremonies in our Alachua County with your poem, with what you've written, and
Yes.
to add that distinction.
I'm tasked to. Part of what I do is to be an ambassador for poetry, and
Exactly.
I write poems for the county at certain events they may deem significant and may want a poem written. So they asked me to compose a poem. I'll be performing a poem that I wrote called Eden.
Oh, as part?
Yes, they asked me to write a poem a few years ago for their annual what is it? Their annual budget.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
They didn't want it to be so boring, so they wanted to add poetry to the annual report. And so I wrote this poem, Eden, and they just loved it. And so we're gonna. It was they connected me with the Gainesville Art Orchestra. And with the composer Stella Sung down at the University of South Florida, and she composed a score. So we're gonna be premiering this in a few weeks, the 27th of
I will be there.
February.
I have my tickets.
With the Chamber Orchestra.
Excited.
I'm excited too.
Yes.
So that'll be
with my
fun.
family. Oh, you've just
And
added
I'll
to my pleasure.
I'll also be reciting Kubla Khan to one of the scores with the orchestra also. I was asked to do that.
Outstanding.
So that's kind of like what we do as a poet laureate.
And for ArtSpeaks, if people, I know everything is free and open to the community for this month-long festival coming up in April that we've been talking about.
The Bard and Broadside Poetry Festival, yes.
Right, with the wonderful theme honoring the 250th anniversary of our country. But you also, as a nonprofit, can accept donations. Welcome
absolutely.
Donations.
Donations, absolutely. Everything we do is open to the public and free and accessible, and you can always donate if you go to our website at www.artspeaksgnv.org. That's ArtSpeaksGNV.org.
And we're sharing that with everyone. Plus, you have a great Facebook page, and we can find out all the different activities so we can be there. And I want to thank you, Stanley, and Cynthia, and Eddie for being just wonderful guests. We appreciate
Well,
you.
thank you for inviting us.
Certainly. And I'm so glad you tuned in. I hope I'll see you at the festival. Take care.